I am Taylor Thomas, and this was the Robustry channel, but from now on it is called Live Robustly. And today we are going into exercise number 2 of Wishcraft, How to Get What You Really Want by Barbara Sher. Yesterday we did exercise 1, Who Are You Really? Now the first thing I want to say is that this book is a really good practical guide. If you're like me and you need something to help you, just something that kind of gives you step by step on how to manifest, this is the book to do it. I have manifested my whole life. I mean, I've had really good successes and then I've had really bad failures. And this book just kind of puts it all in a clear way. I mean, I have studied various teachings on manifestations going back to the 90s. And the thing is that a lot of times it kind of came across like as wishful thinking. And I experienced trauma and really bad times in my life. So if you're somebody who's depressed, who's experienced trauma, somebody who's been through a horrible experience, whether you've been diagnosed with PTSD or not, whether you have ASD or ADHD or Asperger's or anything like that, this series is for you because this puts it all into a practical way. Now, what you need to do is you need to get yourself a notebook. I would strongly recommend that you don't get a loose leaf notebook like this because your pages will fly away. You need to keep it because you're going to reference it back. You can get a notebook like this that costs like $1 or something like that. And I like this because the pages don't fall out. However, I bought this for like $2 or $3 at Walmart. I don't know, maybe it was $5. I don't remember. I'm not here selling it. And I like it because it says ideas on it, and it has this nifty little elastic here. Plus, the inner cover works as a bookmark. And so I can open up right here to exercise 2, which is what we're covering right now. And exercise 2 is called Your Original Self. Now, if you're following along with your notebook, go ahead and write this down at the top of your page like I did here. Exercise 2, you know what, I'll just read it to you. Exercise 2, Your Original Self. And then I drew a line underneath that, and then right beneath that I wrote, this is from the book, what were you especially attracted to or fascinated by when you were a child less than 7 years old? So in other words, write down when you were 7 years old or younger, what were you especially attracted to? Was it medicine? Was it stories? Was it acting? Was it music? Was it selling things, pretending like you had your own little boutique? Was it video games? Was it listening to stories? And then leave yourself a nice gap underneath that. And that's another reason why I like this book, because it's bigger than a normal notebook. Leave yourself a gap because you're going to write in there what your answer is. And then the part 2 of this exercise 2 is, what sense or senses did you enjoy the most or explore the most? Let me rephrase that. This is the way I wrote it because sometimes the phrasing in the book was just a little bit funny for me. What sense or senses did you enjoy or explore the most? And there you think about your 5 senses. You know, was there one that you enjoyed more than the other? Was it vision? Or was it vision and taste or smell or whatever? For me, it was 5 senses. And then you express why that is. So you don't just write down, well, I like seeing, I like hearing, I like smelling. Instead, you explain why those senses were more important to you than other senses. So that is exercise 2, and that's all you got to do. It's just so nice and so easy to do. I love this because by following this procedure, you're going to find out who you truly are, as well as you're going to find out hidden desires that you may have forgot about a long time ago because they were suppressed. Maybe you were told you can't do this, you can't be that. Well, go ahead and do it, but I'm not going to be here to support you. I mean, there's all these conditions that people have gone through that have prevented them from being the person who they truly are. And that's what this book, Wishcraft, is all about. It's not witchcraft, it's wishcraft, and the whole thing is about manifesting, but doing it in a practical way. And just a little bit on Barbara Sher. I've already covered this in the first episode. For 10 years, from like 1969 to 1979, she was a single mother of 2 boys, struggling to get by financially. This was between ages 35 to age 45. And at that time, 35 years old was already considered to be old. And if you're trying to get a job, people would look at you and say, well, your best years have passed you by. She went against the odds, and she went from being washing floors and being a typist at a firm, being paid minimum wage, to becoming very prosperous and successful. So if that's what you would like to make your life a heck of a lot better and more interesting and exciting, then this is the process for you. Again, I'm Teo Thomas. This is the Live Robustly channel, formerly known as Robustry. Thank you for watching. If you got anything out of this, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to follow along and go through the exercises in this book, then I strongly recommend that you subscribe, because if you hit the bell, you'll be notified every time a new video comes up, which I am intending to do one every day so that we can get through this book, I think in about a month or less. Thank you for watching.